Are you ready for what God has prepared for you? The weight of this message is heavy, but let me assure you, it's no accident that you're here. You're not watching this by chance. You're being called. God's chosen ones, the time has come for a final test. A test so significant that nothing will move forward in your life until you pass it. What if everything you've been through, every struggle and setback, has led you to this pivotal moment? What if this is the turning point you've been waiting for, the moment that defines the rest of your journey? In a world full of distractions, God's voice is calling you to rise. This is your moment to step into your divine purpose. But here's the truth. It's not going to be easy. This test is non-negotiable. You either pass it or everything will stall. Let this be your wake-up call. God's plan for you is not just for survival, it's for greatness. You must overcome this final trial to step into what He has for you. If you feel the weight of this message stirring within you, I want you to take a moment. Comment, "I'm ready," below as your declaration of trust and readiness. God is asking, will you rise, or will you remain where you are? This is your divine opportunity, your moment to break free from the chains that have held you back. Now let's dive into this non-negotiable test, because the future you've been praying for is on the other side of it. This test, the one you're facing right now, is not something you can bypass or avoid. It's been designed for you and only you, tailor-made by the Creator, who knows exactly what you need to become the person He's destined you to be. The challenges, the difficulties, the obstacles, it all seems overwhelming at times. But I want you to understand something deeply. This is not punishment. This is preparation. And this is the final test that will unlock the door to your destiny. At every stage in life, God has tested you, refined you, shaped you. But now, you are facing something that will determine whether you are ready for the next level. This isn't just about passing or failing. It's about who you will become on the other side of this test. God is not testing your strength in the conventional way. He's testing your heart, your obedience, your willingness to trust in Him even when everything around you seems uncertain. Have you ever wondered why things don't seem to be moving forward? Why it feels like you're stuck in the same place, dealing with the same struggles over and over? It's because God is waiting for you to pass this final test. He's waiting for you to show Him that you are ready for what He has for you. But make no mistake, this test isn't about what you think you can handle. It's about what God knows you are capable of with His strength. So, how do you know if you're in the midst of this final test? Well, here's the first thing you need to understand. It will not be easy. It will challenge everything you've come to know about yourself, your limits, and your faith. The moment you think you're close to breaking is the moment God is preparing you for breakthrough. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every frustration you're feeling right now is part of the process. There will be days when you feel like you can't go on. You'll wonder if all the sacrifices you've made, all the battles you fought, have been in vain. But I want to remind you that this test has been carefully designed for your growth. The person you will become after this test will be stronger, wiser, and more aligned with God's purpose for your life than ever before. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself that your breakthrough is just around the corner. The test you are facing now is preparing you for the life you've always dreamed of. But to step into that, you need to be willing to go through the fire. You need to be willing to endure what seems unbearable, knowing that you are being refined and strengthened. As you face these challenges, God is asking you one question. Will you trust me? Will you trust that He is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it? Will you hold on to your faith, even when everything else in your life seems to be falling apart? You see, God's chosen ones are set apart. You don't walk the same path as others. Your journey is unique, and it requires something from you that others might not have to give. It requires deep faith, unwavering trust, and a willingness to surrender to God's will. When you pass this test, you will emerge as a new person, stronger, more confident, and ready to take on the destiny God has set before you. This is not the time to quit, not the time to lose hope. You are so close. Don't let this final test be the one that stops you from reaching the life that is waiting for you. As you journey through this test, it's important to remember that God has a plan for your life that far exceeds anything you could imagine. What you see as hardship, He sees as the perfect tool to mold you into the person He has called you to be. This is not a random set of challenges. This is your divine training. Every struggle, every moment of doubt, every season of waiting is leading you to a greater purpose. The reason God's chosen ones must face this final test is that it is the finishing touch, the last step before the breakthrough. It's what separates those who are willing to keep pressing forward from those who give up too soon. This is your moment to show God that you are ready to move to the next level. You've been prepared for this. You've been through enough already to know that you are capable of facing the hardest tests and still coming out victorious. But here's the thing you need to understand about this test. It's not just about what you're capable of doing. It's about what you are willing to do. God is testing your obedience, your willingness to follow Him, no matter how difficult the road may seem. He's asking, will you trust me even when things look impossible? You might be facing setbacks, disappointments, or even failures that seem to be putting you farther away from your goal. But the truth is, setbacks are part of the process. They are not signs of failure. They are signs that God is at work in your life. Every time you feel like things are falling apart, God is actually putting the pieces together in ways you can't see yet. God's plan is not always obvious in the moment, and sometimes you may feel like you are stumbling in the dark, but He has promised that He will never leave you or forsake you. Even in the midst of your trials, He is right there with you, holding your hand, guiding you toward your purpose. The challenge for you right now is to resist the urge to give in to fear or frustration. When things don't seem to be moving forward, when it feels like you've hit a wall, remember that God is working behind the scenes. He is preparing you for something that is beyond your current understanding. But you must stay faithful. You must keep pressing forward. There will be days when you question everything. You'll wonder why God has allowed you to go through so much. But in those moments, hold on to the truth that this is not the end. This is just the refining process. God is using every single challenge to build your character, strengthen your faith, and equip you for the destiny He has set before you. The truth is, you have already overcome so much. Think about the battles you've fought and the victories you've already achieved. You've made it this far because God has been with you every step of the way. Now, as you face this final test, know that He is going to see you through. He is not going to leave you now. This test may not be easy, but it's worth it. The victory on the other side will be greater than anything you've ever imagined. So don't quit now. Don't give in to the temptation to throw in the towel. Keep pushing forward. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is just around the corner, and God is waiting to reveal it to you. Remember, this final test is non-negotiable because it's necessary. It's the last step before you can walk into the fullness of God's promises for your life. You have been chosen for this moment, and you are equipped to pass this test. Stay focused, stay faithful, and trust that God is working all things together for your good. In moments of deep struggle, it's easy to question whether you're on the right path. It's in these times, when the road feels unclear and your vision seems clouded, that God asks for your most courageous step of faith. He doesn't want you to move based on what you see, but on what you believe. The test before you is not about the circumstances, but about your trust in His plan. If you can hold on to faith even when things seem impossible, you're proving that you're ready for what God has in store for you. This journey requires endurance. It's not a sprint, but a marathon. The test is not just for a moment. It's for a season. God wants to see how you handle prolonged pressure, how you endure when everything within you is telling you to quit. The endurance He is calling for isn't simply physical or emotional. It's spiritual. It's the ability to keep moving forward when the world around you says to stop. It's the ability to stand firm, to hold fast to your convictions, even when everything seems to be falling apart. This kind of endurance can only come from trusting in God's timing. His ways are not our ways, and His plans are often much bigger than we can imagine. He knows what you need, when you need it, and how to prepare you for the greatness He has in store. Your job is to walk by faith, even when you don't see the full picture. Endurance, however, is not about just enduring for the sake of enduring. It's about allowing God to refine you in the process. It's about recognizing that every challenge, every difficulty, is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Every time you press through the pain, every time you persevere, you are becoming the person God designed you to be. Through this test, God is showing you that you don't need to rely on your own strength. In fact, the more you rely on Him, the stronger you become. His grace is sufficient, and His power is made perfect in your weakness. This test is showing you just how much you need Him and how much He wants to equip you for what's next. But endurance doesn't happen overnight. It's a muscle that must be built over time, one step at a time. You've been building this endurance through everything you've faced up to this point. Every trial, every challenge has been God's way of strengthening you, teaching you to trust Him, and equipping you to move forward with confidence. The key to passing this final test is to continue taking one step after another, even when you don't understand why you're on this path. Keep pressing forward, knowing that the end result will be worth it. When you look back, you will see how God used every moment to prepare you for the next level. This test will require you to give up control. You will need to let go of your own plans and trust that God's plan is far better than anything you could have imagined. In your surrender, you will find peace. You will find that the more you let go, the more God can take you places you never thought possible. In moments when you feel weak, when you feel like you're about to break, that's when you need to remember the promise that God is with you. He hasn't brought you this far to leave you. His presence will be your strength. His peace will guide you through the toughest moments. And when you feel like giving up, He will remind you that this test is not the end, but the preparation for something far greater. Hold on to the truth that you are not alone in this. God is with you, and He is equipping you to pass this test. He has already given you everything you need to succeed. All you have to do is keep moving forward, step by step, trusting that He is guiding you every step of the way. As we journey deeper into this final test, we come to a realization. This challenge is not just about what's happening externally, but about what's happening internally. It's about the heart transformation that God is working in you, even when you can't see it or feel it. The process might be difficult, but it is necessary. You cannot move forward into the fullness of your destiny without first undergoing this internal refinement. It is here that your faith is being sharpened, where your character is being shaped, and where you are being prepared for what God has in store for you. One of the hardest things to face during this process is the feeling of being stretched beyond your limits. You may feel like you're being pushed in every direction, emotionally, physically, spiritually. This is the part of the journey where it seems like everything is crumbling around you. But in reality, what's happening is that God is breaking down the old so that He can build something new. He is removing the things from your life that are no longer serving you, whether it's fear, doubt, insecurity, or even the need to control every outcome. He's teaching you to surrender to His perfect will. This test is about letting go of your own understanding. The Bible says in Proverbs 3-5, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." When you lean on your own understanding, you limit what God can do in your life. Your perspective is narrow, but God's view is infinite. As you walk through this final test, there may be times when you question your worth, when you wonder if you're truly chosen. It's in those moments that God is calling you to remember who you are in Him. You are not defined by your mistakes or your failures. You are defined by His love for you. You are His beloved child, and He is preparing you for something extraordinary. You have been chosen for a purpose that is greater than you could ever imagine. The test isn't about perfection. It's about obedience. It's about trusting God even when you don't understand the journey. It's about knowing that He is with you, even in the most difficult times. When you stand firm in your faith, when you choose to trust God no matter what, you are passing this test. The beauty of this process is that every step you take in obedience brings you closer to the destiny God has already prepared for you. This final test will require you to hold on to hope, to keep believing even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. But know this, God is with you every step of the way. He will never leave you or forsake you. He will strengthen you when you are weak, and He will guide you when you are lost. You are not alone in this. He is walking with you, and His plan for your life will not fail.